Hello guys, it's actually quite late. I was hoping to start this video much sooner, but things got in the way. So anyway, here we go. It's time for play, and we haven't had tea, but I think tea's going to be a little bit late this evening because I'm going to finally get to play with some wonderful Finnabair goodies. Those words are fantastic. Including, I only have one of the brand new colours of wax. The others are due in hopefully this week, including the peacock, which I cannot wait to play with because, as you all know, turquoise is my favourite colour. But I've gone ahead and made a few moulds. These ones are not moulds, what am I talking about? Embellishments from the moulds. Those have been done with the ultra thick embossing crystals, and these have been done from a paper-like air dry clay, so they're very light. I did do some with a heavier more brittle air dry clay. They're actually still not quite dry, and to be honest I'm not sure if they're going to hold up to much because they are quite brittle. But anyway, I've got no plan whatsoever. I have a tag that I've just literally put a little bit of the modelling paste through, this one here, the Art Basics one. So just a couple of little bits, just there's something in the background, and this is a tag I started ages ago, and obviously it's going to lend itself to cogs, etc., so we might put a few things on there. Other than that, I have no plan. Anything could happen, and it probably will, including me trying to get this back up onto the mount, which is going to be fun in itself. But here we go. Let's see. Fingers in front of the camera. Let's see how we get on. Right, so if I work in this sort of area, presumably we'll be okay. Right, so it's literally going to be putting some bits and pieces on and then covering them with some heavy black gesso, and then putting some waxes over, and before that possibly some of the pastes. Let's get a few colours here and see how we do. Right, so the first thing we're going to need is the 3D gel. Oh, I'm going to also use probably some of these art stones as well. So I really literally just wanted to get some of these new pieces that I've made from the moulds stuck down and have a little play. We'll see how we get on. I've got no music or anything in the background, so we'll have to just see. When you're doing your moulds, I made a rookie error on the first one, and I didn't push it down enough into the mould itself. So you see these pieces here, they're very, very thin, but that's how it was on the back. And then I realised it was only when I took it out, I realised that actually they should have been revealed, and then you get this lovely finish here. And I could tidy these up a little bit. It'd be very easy to do, but actually I'm not fussed. I really like that, so that's fine. So we're going to get a little bit of the 3D gloss gel on here and get a couple of pieces stuck on and see how we get on. Any of you who've ordered these moulds from me and they haven't yet been sent, there's some more deliveries going out tomorrow, and we have some more items coming in next week, and I'm also going to be putting another order in tomorrow, believe it or not, because I've sold out of some of the initial ones and people are asking for them again, so which is really good news for me because I get to go on the website later and have a really good look and see what else I like. I know one person's asked about the new tissue tape that they saw on the Facebook Live. Was it last night or the night before? Can't remember. That Finnabair did. So I think we're going to be getting some of that in as well, which will be very exciting. Right, where should we put this one? Let's put this one on top there, I think. Okay. I absolutely adore the stars. We have to have some stars on here as well. I know it's cogs, etc. Especially these ones that look like the barn stars, the metal ones from the mechanicals range, and the ones I did with the coloured UT look super. I'm obviously not going to put any of these on at this stage because I'll be gessoing over in black. And this one here, you might not be able to see, or you might. I've used some of my own mix rusty embossing powder, which is here, which just lends itself to anything to do with cogs and mechanicals, etc. and that's gone on the top of there. And this one wasn't, I should have gessoed this black first of all because it doesn't look quite right, but that was just to give you an idea of how it looks when you've put that on top. So I like those. Anyway, they're going to go on afterwards at the end. Right, so let's get a few more bits stuck on. This is a bit like watching paint dry for you guys, I appreciate, but the fun bit's going to come shortly when you start to see how the waxes react, etc. Let's move that out of the way a little bit. Some of these are not wanting to play as well as I thought they would, but here we go. We'll just put them down. And how about some of these little tiny stars? These are just so cute. Look at that. How small is that? Tiny and wonderful. And now we need to be looking at some of the little cogs and the screw heads. And again, these are so small and authentic looking. I think by the time we get the gesso on them and then put some of the, maybe we'll put some of the pastes over before we actually put, or after we put the gesso and before we put some of the wax on. Let's just play and see what happens. There's no rules today. It's just about getting something down onto a tag so I can say I've made a start. Because I have to be honest with you, I've been so desperate to get stuck into this. And let's try another one on top of there. I hope you're seeing this okay. I can't mess about with the camera too much because it might very well fall off of the makeshift setup that I have here where it's hanging onto my daylight lamp. So not the strongest setup. Let's just blast this very quickly. I know that's annoying for you guys, but let's just start to dry some of that gel off. There we go, you can see. So this is from the Mechanica mould set. These pieces up here with the cogs and the sort of mechanical base plates, etc. And then down here you have some of the stars from the moon and stars. And I'll just show you whilst that's drying off. Here are some of the other moons and stars. Ignore the wings and hearts, they're from another mould that I made up, but I just thought they might look nice if we did a more delicate video later on, along with using the fairy garden face, which is stunning. And these flowers that are also on that fairy garden face, I mean, I'm not really a flowery person at all. I mean, I'm into the rust and the cogs and the steampunk look, but do you know what, they're actually really sweet. I think they're going to look lovely. And there's masses of different stars on the moons and stars mould. That's just a small portion, and this will give you a little bit of a clue about what's in the Mechanica. You see all the wheels and the keys. Very industrial looking, that one, and very much my cup of tea. So let's see how that's doing. It's still moving around a little bit, so obviously I'm a bit concerned that I don't want to keep going away from this video, but I may have to make sure it's dry before I start swiping gesso all over it. And it all falls over everywhere, which is highly possible. Let's put one or two more pieces on. I think we need some more keys and cogs. And I'm not worried if any of this, any excess 3D gloss gel is hanging around. That's not an issue at all. We can always put some of the art stones in the spaces to fill them if we feel they need filling. Now, I'm sure I had, there it is, a lovely little bolt So I'm not putting too much on at this stage because I've got a couple of other things I want to put on once we've done the gesso after as well, including that little beauty. Let's just see if I can very gently put some of the art stones on. Just here and there. And for that I'm going to use a little bit of the soft gel just to build it up a little bit. The art stones are fabulous. They do have a mind of their own, so you have to bear that in mind when you're playing with them because they will go everywhere. So I'm just scanning around to see if I've got a piece of card, which is ridiculous in this craft room because there's a million pieces of card, but putting your hand on one when you need it is something else. So we'll pop it into here, and I'm just going to put the smaller ones on for now, I think. See what I mean? You really do need something to catch them as they try and go wherever they want to go. Might help if you could see that. There we are. I'm going to have to be quite gentle with this because I don't want all the bits to fall off. There we go. I knew that would happen. There. So I've got a little bit of texture on there now, which is cool. What I need for that one is I need the gloss gel back. Where have I put it? There it is. It's a shame because it's got all stones underneath it, but never mind. Hopefully it'll still stick. These feel wonderful to work with. Okay, that's those. Let's put those out of the way. A little bit more drying, I'm afraid. Let's see how many blow away. Perhaps if I didn't wave the gun so violently, they wouldn't move around so much. There's a few stray ones, but that soft gel's holding them in place really well. Now, I'm going to try and put some fluid on this. Once I've swept all those away. However, if it all wants to start moving off, I may have to go away and come back. But I didn't really want to do that if I could help it. So what I'm using here is the Art Basics Heavy Gesso in black. This is a fabulous, fabulous gesso. These little bits that get stuck sometimes to the top of your tubes here, you're going to say she is crazy. But actually, hang on to these because look at that. You know, if you're doing steampunky or mechanical, that could go easily on there and just create another bit of texture for you. So, wish me luck. I don't know if this is going to be dry enough, but we'll see how we get on. I'm being cowardly and starting at a safe end. I think in all honesty I might have to dry this off and come back to you. I'm going to put it on pause for a moment because you can see the little balls are getting stuck to my brush. So I'll be back with you in just a second. You don't want to watch me doing this, it's boring. We'll get to the fun stuff.